Hey lovelies, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, thank you for stopping by. Kindly click on the subscribe button and also turn on the notification bell so that whenever we upload a new video, you'll be notified. Okay, so today we are making this lovely Bubu top with a drawstring and also a rope tied to the neck. Okay, so if this is what you are interested in watching, kindly stay tuned and let's get started. Okay, so for the materials I'm going to be using for this tutorial, I'm going to be using 2.5 yard of crepe fabric. If you want the long version of this, you are going to be using 3 to 3.5 yard. But for this tutorial, I'm going to be making it as a 3/4 top, so it's not going to be long. And I'm going to be folding this fabric towards, because the length is usually 60 inches, so I'm going to fold it. As you can see, I've already folded it, and I folded it towards the 60 inches length, so that I can get, when you fold it into two, that is going to be 30 inches. So I can get that that 30 inches is enough for me for my desired sleeve. Okay, why the length is going to be around 44 inches. Okay, so just as I said, if you want the long one, you use 3.5 inches or 3 inches so that you can get a long one and also get your desired sleeve. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to be doing now for the measurement, I'm going to slit the fabric. So I'm going to slit it into two at that point, so that I'm going to be cutting it for both the front and the back. Okay, so after that, I'm going to measure 1 inch from that tip there. I'm going to go down by 1 inch allowance, so mark 1 inch all through, like so. So I'm going to use my ruler now to mark across the 1 inch. Okay, so I'll do that now. So after marking 1 inch across, so from that 1 inch point, you are going to measure the width, the neck width, and my desired neck width here is 7 inches. You can also use 6.5 depending on what you want, but let it not be less than 6 inches so that it doesn't choke. Then the shoulder is 8 inches. Then from my shoulder, I measured about 14 inches, which is going to be my sleeve length. That is my desired sleeve length. Okay, so you mark what you feel is your own desired sleeve length there. Then I'm going to come down by 1.5 inch for shoulder slope, and then from the tip of my neck there, where my neck stops, from the 7 inches point there, connect the line all through. Then after doing that, on that particular, from the shoulder slope there, I'm going to go down by about 8 inches for my sleeve opening. So connect it to the upper part like so. So that's going to serve as my sleeve opening. And then this cloth actually does not have a depth, it's just neck width. Okay, so from the shoulder point there, come down by 15.5 inches, which is my shoulder to my waist measurement. So you can use yours. If yours is 16, use 16 inches. Mine is 15.5, so I came down by 15.5 at that point. Okay, then from the from that point there, come out by your waist measurement divided by 4. So my waist is 33 divided by 4 is 8.5. So that point is going to be the point where I'm going to attach my belt, okay, the inner belt. So I'm going to do that now, and you can also add half an inch to that. So at that point, that is where you are going to attach your belt, your inner belt. Then from that point to mark about 5 inches, okay? So I'm going to mark 5 inches now, and that 5 inches is where I am going to be attaching the drawstring, the rope, okay? So from the midpoint there, mark 5 inches for the rope, like so, and then mark it down to the end. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm marking it down to the end. So let me move the fabric upward so that you can see what I am actually doing, okay? So mark 5 inches all through to the down, because you are going to be drawing a straight line to show you the point where you are going to be attaching the drawstring, okay? So I'm going to use my ruler now to draw a straight line all through to the down part, just as you see me doing. So as you can see that line there. So then this is going to be my belt point. So the next thing I'm going to be doing now is from this shoulder slope. Remember we came down by 1 inch initially. So from the shoulder slope there, you're going to mark 1 inch upward. So this is going to be our new shoulder slope. So you're going to mark it upward 1 inch, as you can see me doing. So I'll use my ruler now to connect the new point together. So guys, this is going to be our new shoulder slope, okay? So let me cut it out now to avoid confusion, so that you will not be confused. So I'm cutting it out now so that you can see our new shoulder slope at that point. Okay, so I'm done now. So this is the new shoulder slope. I'm going to secure that point with a pin so that the fabric will not be moving around. And then the next thing I'm going to do is to notch the neck point. That 7 inches you marked, notch it so that we'll know that that is the neck. Okay, good. So the next thing we're going to do now is to, so from that point there, from your sleeve opening point, from the end of your sleeve, and go in by 1.5 inches. Then after going by 1.5 inches, from the point there, mark what you have. So mine is about 21 inches from the end point there. So I'm going to take that 21 inches all through to the down part, because this is actually a free Bubu gown. So it's going to be free. It's an all size Bubu gown. So go down by 21 inches all through, and then you actually use and you mark that point. So that's what I'm basically doing now. So I'm going to connect all the points. I'm going to draw a straight line all through to the down part to connect the points together. So after doing that now, at that opening, make a little curve there. Okay, just use your chalk to make a little curve there, then connect all the lines. So after connecting all the lines, the next thing I'm going to do is to cut it out. Okay, so I'm going to cut out all that point. So as you can see, this is the sleeve opening. Then I'm I'm cutting out the side now. So cut it out, and then this is what we have after cutting it out. Okay, so remember we notched the neck point. Okay, then we have the shoulder slope, and then we have the point for the drawstring there, like so, and then we also have the point for the belt. Okay, so that's basically it. So we have all our points now. At that belt point, I'm going to put a pin there so that I can get the look. Since it's going to be 2 belts, I want to get the exact point for the other belt. Okay, so put a pin there, and then you use your chalk to indicate, to mark that point, so that we'll know that that is where we are going to be placing the other belt. Okay, so I'm going to remove the back now. I'll remove the pins, and then I'm going to remove the back part so that we can work on the front. Okay, so that's what I'm doing now. So after removing the back, this is what we have, and then this is the front. Okay, so we have the front point here, the front part here. I hope you can see all the points that we marked on the front there. Okay, so we have, you can see the 2 belt points, and you can also see the drawstring point, right? So the best place to place the drawstring is usually at the left side. Okay, so this is my drawstring point, and this is the pieces I cut out that I'm going to be using for the drawstring. The length of these pieces is usually the length of the position we are going to put the drawstring, plus about 2 inches for the fold, the upper fold and the lower fold. Okay, so the width is 2 inches also. Okay, and so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fold the sides. I'm going to iron the sides and fold it. This is for the belt. The length of the belt is about 20 inches, and the width is about 2 inches as well. I'm going to fold the belt in this way, in and out, and then I'm going to place it at the location where it's supposed to be. Okay, at the point where it's supposed to be, I'm going to attach the belt there, the 2 belts. So right now I've done that. Look at the belts. I've gone to the machine to sew them. I turn it out. So this is the belt. Okay, and then for the drawstring, this, what I did was that I folded the edges by about 0.25 to 0.5 inch, the 2 edges. Then I marked the midpoint of the pieces. So the midpoint of that piece where you marked must rhyme with the midpoint, with the mark that you did on that fabric. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, but mark the midpoint of that stripe and let it rhyme with the line that you actually marked on the fabric. Okay, so that we'll have a middle line there. So that is what I did now. You can secure that with a pin. Secure it with a pin. Then you are going to sew it down at that midpoint. You are going to, on the machine, I'm going to go over to the machine and sew it all through to the down part. Okay, so I'm going to do that now, and then I'll come back and show you what we have. So that's the belt, and so I'm done now, guys. I'm done, and I've already sewn the midpoint, just as I said, all through to the down part. Okay, so I've also attached the belts. As you can see, I've attached the both belts. So the next thing I'm going to be working on now is the drawstring. So this is the rope I'm going to be using. So this rope, you can the rope, these are the ropes I'm going to be using, and then this is how I'm going to attach the rope. So put the rope inside. Remember I told you I folded the edge. Okay, I folded that edge. I used a pressing iron. Use a pressing iron so that it will be easier for you. Then place the rope inside. Make sure it's tucked in properly. So when I'm sewing, I'm going to sew at that top. From the top there, I'm going to sew that top. Then I'm going to, the sides, that side I'm going to sew it. Make sure you don't sew on top of the rope. Make sure your stitch does not touch the rope. If not, it will not be able to give that drawstring effect. Okay, so tuck the rope in properly, and then you are going to sew the side. You're going to sew that side all through to the down part. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing for the other part too. I have my second rope there, so sew it down all through to the end. Then I also have my second rope, and then I'm going to also do the same thing. Make sure you hold it at the top. After stitching at the top, then sew the side too, like so. Tuck the rope in properly so that it does not, your machine does not touch the rope. So guys, I'm basically done. I've gone to the machine to do that. So the next thing we are going to do is the neck area. Remember, I have already sewn the shoulder parts. So this is what we have for the neck. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do now is, you can sew it all around. First thing to do is to overlock all the edges, all the rough edges. After overlocking, then I'm going to use my hemming gum. I'm using a permanent hemming gum. If you look at it closely, it looks like a net. It's different from the regular hemming gum. This one holds it in place permanently. So I'm going to sew it. I'm going to use my pressing iron. I'll tuck in the hemming gum, and then I'll use my pressing iron to hold it in place. There's no light now, so I can't do that now. I'll do that later. So looking at the sleeve too, I've already hemmed the sleeve area. Then I sew it all down, all through to the down part. I'm also going to overlock that edge so that you can have a neat finishing at that point. So I did the same thing for the other parts. So that's basically it for this tutorial. Thank you for watching. So I'm going to place it on a mannequin now so that you can see the outcome of the dress. Okay, so let's do that. So as you can see, this is what we have. Very beautiful. I also you can see this, you can see the rope, you can see the drawstring effect. Okay, and I also tied the rope to the back of the mannequin. Okay, so if you enjoyed this tutorial, thank you for watching. Kindly stay tuned, and I will see you all in my next video. Okay, so do well to subscribe. Click the subscribe button, like and share our videos. This is the only way you can help us to grow. Thank you very much, and God bless you. See you all in my next video. Bye.